today's verdict is centered around two facts. One fact was voters' right to know, to make an informed choice in a participatory democracy. And second is the concept of free and fair elections.
Verdict could be seen as a setback to the BJP.
It should be seen as a setback to BJP and every political party who has amassed and collected money through electoral bonds.
Today, the Indian Supreme Court delivered a groundbreaking judgment on electoral bond scheme, deeming it unconstitutional. This verdict marks a significant moment in the realm of Indian electoral politics. Joining me today to shed light on this pivotal decision is Shivani Kapoor, who is the program lead and manager at the Association for Democratic Reforms, who also happens to be one of the petitioners in this case. Shivani, thank you so much for joining us. Can you share with us your initial reaction to the Supreme Court's ruling on the electoral bond scheme?
It's quite obvious that, of course, we are very happy. And the moment we heard the verdict, we were sort of in, seventh sky. So, and wholeheartedly, we are happy and delighted that Supreme Court took a strong stand against this anonymous, unlimited, unchecked, unregulated political funding. So this had to stop, especially before the Lok Sabha 24 elections, even though the parties must have already collected the money that they are supposed to collect or they wanted to collect. But at least something has happened, at least for the future elections. And there is a system in place now, and we are very happy about it.
Shivani, like you said, the anonymous and irregular parts of the scheme. Can you tell us what was there in your petition exactly?
The Finance Act 2017, which was passed as the money bill, that has introduced two concepts of political funding. One was through electoral bonds, and one was the unlimited corporate funding. So through electoral bonds, the whole funding was to be totally anonymous, totally unchecked, totally unregulated. When I say so because the amount of donation received through electoral bonds to the political parties were not supposed to give that information. Parties were not supposed to give who donated to to which political parties, and parties were not supposed to give the name of the contributors or the amount of money donated to the parties. So nothing was supposed to be given through electoral bonds scheme. Now coming to the corporate donations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier, there was a limit of 7.5% of the aggregate 3 years of profit. So only those companies could donate, and that to only 7.5%. So this Finance Act 2017 totally removed that limit, and that corporate funding was unlimited, which means a company can donate unlimited amount of money to the political parties. And again, that amount, name of the party, nothing was supposed to be mentioned, which was earlier there in the company's law. If you would know, till 1985, the corporate funding was completely banned in our country. So it was introduced, and it was 5.5% till 2013. The 2013 amendment to the Company Act increased this limit from 5.5% to 7.5%. Now this Finance Act just totally removed this percentage, which means unlimited amount of money to be donated by the companies to the political parties. So you can understand the whole scenario of this quid pro quo kind of a relationship between political parties and the companies. So that was the whole crux of the issue, that everything was anonymous and the citizen's role was totally reduced to be a voting machine once in 5 years, because the citizen has no way of getting to know the information until unless if we don't have information. How are we going to question our government? How are we going to audit the functioning of our government, or audit the policies that come in, the laws that are framed, if you don't have the information in hand? So that was the main problem.
Right. And today, in the judgment, also, the Supreme Court highlighted how in RTI replies, the whole concept of black money was what the Supreme Court said. Can you also highlight that bit for our viewers?
See, it was basically a legalized way of, accumulating or collecting black money. Just because the money is being donated by electoral bonds, and bonds are through KYC and all of that, bearer bonds. So that doesn't, through banking channel, that doesn't, remove the fact that it cannot be called black money. When there is no information to be given, then anybody can give any amount of money to political party through various channels. We don't know that. Even a shell company can donate to political party. Even a foreign company can donate to political party. Even I shouldn't be saying that, but maybe a terrorist can also donate to political party, because you're not supposed to furnish information. So this whole issue was in question. And what Supreme Court judgment, today's verdict is centered around two facts. One fact was voters' right to know, to make an informed choice in a participatory democracy. And second is the concept of free and fair elections. Obviously, if party in power is getting most of the money received through electoral bonds or corporate funding, so then this whole system of free and fair elections, level playing field, giving same footing to the candidates who contest election or the parties who contest election, that is completely gone, because the party which has more money will have, more to campaign and do so many activities and to influence voters, and the party which has zero money or less money than the party in power. So that just destroys the whole concept of free and fair election. And when I say party in power, I just don't mean BJP. Yes, BJP being the party in power in the center, they have the most benefit of getting the maximum amount of money through electoral bonds. And ADR has done analysis as well as, and we have found that they have received most of the money through electoral bonds. But the regional parties in the states, like TMC or DMK, even they have received money through electoral bonds, and that amount is also huge. Yes, in comparison to BJP, it may be less, but in their respective state, it's the highest. And yes,
Shivani, let me pull up the data for our viewers. About 28,030 electoral bonds worth 16,518 crore rupees were sold from March 2018 to January 2024. Now, this information was derived out of RTI replies from State Bank of India. And data suggests that more than 57% of funds had gone to the BJP. So, my question to you is, do you think this verdict could be seen as a setback to the BJP?
It should be seen as a setback to BJP and every political party who has amassed and collected money through electoral bonds.
Except CPIM, it was the only political party that was.
And which is commendable, because they are the ones who said that we are against this Finance Act, and they did not collect even single penny, and they approached the court. Whereas there are parties who, on the face of it, they said that electoral bonds must be scrapped and all of that. But they were also collecting funds through electoral bonds. Whosoever was donating to these parties, they were also, for example, Congress was very against electoral bonds, but they did collect money, funding through electoral bonds. So it is only CPIM which is commendable. But the data says in itself what is happening. But for Lok Sabha 2024 election, I would say that whatever the money they wanted to collect, they've already done that. That is there. But at least for future election, and at least to have laws in place to follow, system where voters are given the prime importance. At least that has been done by the Supreme Court. So, which is a big step in itself, which is quite landmark.
Thank you so much, Shivani, for joining the Indian Express. And that's a huge victory out there, and celebrate it while it lasts. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a victory for, I think, each one of us as citizens. We got what we deserved. So we got that our right to exercise our votes freely, and our right to basically participate in our political process. And that wouldn't have happened unless we have the information in hand. So it is a victory for all of us. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.